This is going to be a tough video. It hurts me to make this because this is truly something that I care so passionately about. And I believed in so much of the vision and the future of this game. And to just talk about it in this light really hurts me. Today, we're going to be talking about Zenith VR. And I'm sure many of you guys, if you've been around the channel for a while, like probably about 2 to 3 years ago, I started doing a Zenith VR series, which was basically, you know, a series that compiled just a bunch of memories of me and my friend just hanging out and trying out this brand new VR MMO. And it was something special, man. There was something about Zenith that was just so good. I didn't get it in other VR games. The social aspects, the direction that the game took you, and just like how you wrote your own story. You were just plopped in this world, and you spent time with friends, man. It was such a good time. I poured so many hours, like probably by this point, over 1,000 hours in game. So I've played my fair share of Zenith. And leading up from like the alphas to the beta to launch, obviously I was caring so much about this game, and I was already like head over heels for it. I was in love, and I just wanted to see this community grow as well as the game itself. But something that unfortunately didn't really happen, especially on release, was follow-up. I think that's the biggest thing that we need to talk about in this video, is the fact like the studio just did not live up to the expectation. They had so much funding, they had so much support for this game, and it just feels like the concept ran away from them. Going from beta to launch, there wasn't really any change. Like beta 2 to launch day, there wasn't anything fixed. It was basically the exact same build that I played on launch day. And I'm gonna be straight up honest, this game needed so much work on day one. Like, I was okay with where it was in alpha and beta, but obviously launch needed a little bit more care to really get this game in the right footing, especially if it was gonna hold players for a long time. But anyways, Zenith goes and releases their game, and it's a huge hit. It sells $1 million within the first 24 hours, which is incredible for VR, right? This game does awesome. And you would expect, as a VR MMO, it's gonna have people playing it. So on first day, on Steam even, I think there was like 2,000 to 3,000 people playing at peak hours, which was incredible. For Steam alone, that is crazy numbers. But within 1 month, this game dropped over 80% of its player base. And that begs the question of why this happened. Is it because the VR MMO, you know, genre isn't as, I guess, saturated as we thought? Is it because the game had just a lack of direction? Was there not enough story? What was the reason? And this could be kind of more speculation on my end on what I personally think what started the downfall of Zenith. And this is just, like I said, purely opinion, but it's been something on my mind for a very long time. And what I believe it is a lack of motivation, it's a lack of work ethic, and a lack of updates. Straight up honest. Like, they had so much funding, they could have went and expanded their teams, got more solid servers to make sure that the game was running smoother. They could have done so many things to get this, like, game moving with the momentum it already had. Because it was substantial leading up to release. This was by far one of the most hyped up VR releases out there in the year. And they fumbled it. Like, I'm going to sound like a disappointed parent here, but yeah, I'm just bummed, man. I'm honestly bummed because this game had so much freaking potential. And it just feels like again and again and again, the community's toes are just getting stepped on, man. Like, anyone that actually gives public criticism that's to push this game forward and actually, like, that truly cares about the title. People that actually give a fucking shit about this game, they're just ignored, they're banned, or they're shut up. The only people that are surrounded in this community that help push this game are ones that are sucking them off. It's all the yes men. They're surrounded by yes men. And that's a big problem. Because at the end of the day, yes, you can feel good if you have yes men around you, but when it comes to a direction of a freaking game to this magnitude and that deserves so much care, you need to have those people in your circle that are willing to give you the criticism you need to move forward. Having people just say yes to everything is just a road to failure. Because at the end of the day, you then just inflate your ego and think, oh my god, this is the best thing ever that anyone's ever seen. And you just don't, you become satisfied. You don't continue to grow. You don't continue to become better. And this game needed it. It still needs it, man. I tried so many times. I tried to talk and at least, like, I put documents together talking about the things that needed to be fixed, things that should be added, things that the community wanted. I was pushing, man. I pushed for like half a freaking year of all these things, and there wasn't even an ear to listen, man. Every time I brought it up, it was just in one ear and out the other. I understand as a game studio, you don't want to take everything your community says, because at the end of the day, it's your game. And I get it. I 100% understand from that standpoint. But you should also take into consideration the people that are pouring hundreds upon hundreds of hours into your game that know your mechanics better than you who made them. You should take some advice from them. And I'm not speaking on just my behalf. I'm speaking on behalf of the Zenith community. We fucking love this game. We still love the VR MMO. But Zenith Nexus is not it. Instead of making Nexus just this free-to-play experience and, you know, the last city being a DLC, what you should have done is you should have just made Zenith the Last City free-to-play, added a subscription model, and then continued to support this game and flourish the amount of content for endgame that the game truly needs. This game went through months upon months of nothing being added other than minor patches, and you still had the hardcore people grinding the living shit out of this game because they cared about it, and they believed in the future, and they continued to have hope. Then you release Nexus, and that completely diminished anyone's hope of the VR MMO. You basically just say, hey, we're going to be focusing on this now. We're going to be leaving the last city now. Which was your entire identity. You have this. You have this world that you built. But instead you want to go create a new introduction that's free to play? Maybe, just maybe, the introduction you spend a fucking year on for regular Zenith, the Academy, the new Zenith 2.0, maybe that stuff? Make that free to play so people can try it. So that work doesn't go unnoticed. I get so frustrated and fired up about this because I'm so passionate about the game. I care so much about this game. I put so many hours and money towards this passion, man. It just sucks. It just sucks because anyone who had a dream of a VR MMO, Zenith was like, it was the most, I would say, successful shot at that dream becoming a reality. You know? They had funding, they had player base, they had a spectacular combat system compared to all the other VR MMOs that we've played. It just sucks to see a game of this magnitude not being taken as seriously as it should be. I think a big part of that comes down to the actual studio not hunkering down and actually keeping the content fresh. You know? I mean, God, the first Christmas event of this entire game, the first, like, the big year, the first year to celebrate Christmas together with this community, they reskinned a raid boss and just added little snowdrifts. That was it. How lazy does that get? Reskinning assets and then throwing a snowdrift. You could have covered the entire map in snow. You could have done so much stuff to make it festive. But nah, let's just reskin a boss and make people go play that. Come on, man. Laziness is so far around it. I love this game. And I'm sure there's people on your team that also love it too. And it just sucks to see that talent go to waste, man. You need people in your corner to criticize. You need people to try to help the direction of the game and not just yes you all the time. I know it feels good to be told yes. I know it feels good to have people agreeing with you. I know what it feels like to be heard. I get it. But you need to understand that sometimes you got to be told no and you got to get your hand slapped. And you got to understand that even though people are saying no and criticizing your game, it's not because they hate you or they're trying to be negative. It's because they want what's best for the game. They want what's best for the community. And a lot of the time, these people are speaking out of their heart for the community. You know, they're talking with the people all around. And they're trying to get just this gathered opinion of what's being talked about, what's being said, and what's being gathered. You know? But instead, you get told yes, do this, do this, do this. Keep doing what you're doing. Yay, applause, applause. Compared to, hey man, we really need to focus on these bugs. Hey man, we should really focus on the endgame content. Hey man, we should really focus on, you know, getting these quests fixed. Anything. There should have been more respect towards that. But instead, it was taken as hate and it was looked at as negative. Not all criticism has to be looked at as this, you know, direct attack. Because that's not the intent at all. And the thing that sucked is, like, I tried so many times to talk to you, the developers of the game. I tried to talk. I tried to push. I tried so many times. I talked about how much I love the game. I formed documents together to go and put all the things that I gathered up. I talked with the community. I was active. I put over 1,000 hours into this game. And I wasn't taken seriously. But instead, you listen to the people that said, yes, your game is fantastic. Come on, dude. You have something incredibly special here. It deserves more care. That's all I'm getting at. I don't want to make this video a whole hate parade. I just wanted to vent some of my frustrations and stuff that I've been watching from the sidelines and just speak the truth, man. Hopefully there's people out there that are still huge Zenith fans and that you can agree with where I'm at. And I'm sure there's going to be some people that enjoy Nexus. But don't give up on this. Please. You got something so incredibly special. And you have a community that truly, truly cares.